I am Daniel Lucas, and welcome to Book 101 Review. Book 101 is all about the books that I read for the last 40 years. And today I have my special guest, founder and CEO of Success Tutoring, and of course, the author of the debut book, Millionaire Tutor. No other than Mr. Michael Black. Welcome to Book 101, Mr. Michael. And can you please introduce more about yourself that I missed?
Thank you, Daniel Lucas. It's very nice to be here today, and I look forward to sharing more information about my book and providing value to those that watch today's podcast. So, my name is Michael Black, and I'm the founder and CEO of a company called Success Tutoring, originally based in Sydney, and now expanding all around the world from Australia to New Zealand to Canada and the United States of America.
Mr. Michael Black, thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world. And congratulations for being a debut author. What was your personal soul crashing and 9 to 5 moment to become the final straw and made you decide to build a business as well as a book?
Well, Daniel, I think there's a lot of people, not just in Australia, but around the whole world, that are stuck in their 9 to 5 and they don't like their job. They feel like they are destined for more. And this is why I wrote the book. It's because some people are not happier in their 9 to 5, and a lot of people are just stuck there and they can't get out. So I built a company called Success Tutoring, which is the fastest growing education franchise in the world, which allows many, many people to start their own business and quit their 9 to 5. And that's why I wrote the book, to inspire those people and motivate them to want to actually go out and start their own business.
You use the word millionaire deliberately. Why is it important to frame tutoring not just as a side hustle, but as a potentially life changing high income business?
Well, because traditionally, some people believe that being a tutor, you can't actually make a living out of that. And that is far from the truth. If you have a very strong business model where there's strong demand for the service, you can become extremely successful and and make a decent, living and profit from the business as well. So that's why I chose that. A lot of people think if you're a tutor, you're just doing it as a side hustle, but actually you can do it full time and you can get very, very successful from being a tutor.
What's the biggest mental shift someone must make to go from thinking themselves as a tutor to a thinking of themselves as a tutoring business owner?
Well, very similar to how a lot of people, when they go into business, a lot of the time they'll do the work themselves, but then there's other people that will delegate. So delegation is very important. I actually started Success Tutoring in a spare room in my parents' home, and I bootstrapped and grew the business from the ground up. And one of the key things that I found was you need to make sure that you have a mindset where you're delegating and you're giving um, roles and responsibilities to people so that they can run the business as well for you. So, how does that apply to a lot of other people? Well, our franchise partners, they'll hire manager, for example, they'll hire tutors, and then those people are the ones that are running the business, and they are the ones that are more overseeing the operations and making sure that everything is moving very smoothly and in the right direction.
In the right direction indeed. And how does your business model differ from a traditional model of trading time for money?
Well, how it differs is that by running a business, which is a brick and mortar business, a physical business in a community, what we're doing is we're providing real tangible results for students, and families can come into the center and they can receive the service that way. So we're very passionate about providing that service and making sure that we get the best results for our students, and then also the franchise partners. Some of the things that make Success Tutoring unique is that our business model works very similar to a gym membership. So what you would find actually on a lot of our digital marketing efforts and social media is many of our locations actually operate with a set number of members. So because it's like a gym membership model, like a subscription model, what happens is we sign up the customers before the business opens. So many of our locations will open with 50, 60, some have even opened with over 150 students from the first week. So these are some things that are unheard of. Our business model is personalized to each child. Students, they come in, they get a personalized program based on the curriculum of their local country. Like, for example, in Australia, it's based on the Australian curriculum. In Canada, it's based on the Canadian curriculum. And in the US, it's also based on the US common standards. So we make sure that we're providing the best service for the students and for the franchise partners that come on board.
How can a tutor move beyond the income ceiling of one on one sessions to create scalable revenue streams?
Yeah, that's a very good question, Daniel. And I think the answer to that is by having a business, because when I first started tutoring, I was doing a lot of one-on-one tutoring, and I had to try to move to group tutoring. And that was very hard for me because I was just doing it as a side hustle. So being a part of a franchise system like Success Tutoring, it provides a lot of credibility for the brand, and there's a lot of really good learning material and resources and systems that we use, which allow franchise partners to be able to run the business and have it in a group environment, because having in a group environment is very important for the unit economics of the business, because it means that you can bring on more members, more revenue, and then have a sensible cost base. So you're not having to increase your costs every time a new revenue stream happens. So or more revenue increases. So I find that having a group tutoring model works very well from a financial perspective.
How do you justify and command premium pricing that moves you from commodity tutor to a sought after educational expert?
Well, I think with our pricing, what we tend to do, it's not a discounted price, and it's also not premium. What we do is our pricing is available and open for a large percentage of middle America, for those that are the middle class. That it's for everybody. So it's for those that are struggling at school, for those that are doing okay at school, and then the ones that want to accelerate. Our service appeals to the overall majority of the population, and for those that are seeking tutoring. Our services are pay per week, not pay per month or pay per semester. It's pay per week, which makes it very easy and affordable for the parents. And it also puts a point of difference for us, because it means that we're so confident in the tutoring service that we offer that we don't need to sign them up for a whole year or a few months of tutoring. It's just a week by week basis, and that's where the gym model, which I refer to in my book, Millionaire Tutor, comes in. It's about a membership based business model.
Mr. Michael, what is the most effective low cost strategy for landing your first few high paying clients from standing start?
Well, actually, some people may know this if they've read the book, or maybe they would have listened to me speak at a podcast. But it took 8 months to get the first customer, actually. So it took me 8 months. And so now for franchise partners, we've got many locations, launching with over 100 members. So what I mean to say is sometimes a lot of the time it's not easy at the start, but it does get easier. And being part of a franchise system, you get a lot of support and a lot of assistance to be able to know exactly what levers and buttons to pull and push, because this way you know exactly how to run an effective business. But when I first started, it wasn't easy. It took 8 months to get the first customer, and we just kept working at it. And so that's the information, and feedback I would give, people that are looking at starting their own business.
Mr. Michael, as an author, founder, what are your short term and long term goals?
Well, our short-term goals is to continuously provide good quality service for our students and for our franchise partners. Our long-term goal is to become the leaders in education across the globe. We have a vision to expand in every country and continent around the world and to provide good quality learning. We believe that the education system is outdated, it needs to change, and Success Tutoring is a vehicle and reform for change. And we have three words that we like to use, and we use this across all of our locations, regardless of where it is in the world. And the three words are motivate, inspire, uplift. Those are the three words: motivate, inspire, uplift. These are the three words that we use across um, our centers, and those are the words and key reason why we do what we do every day.
Good luck to your goals. Mr. Michael, I'm looking forward for more success. And what would be your piece of advice for those people out there want to be like you?
Well, my biggest advice is work hard, dream big. Nothing in this world comes easy. It comes with hard work and effort, and anything you put your mind to, you can achieve. You just need to have faith that it will work, and you need to have the right mindset. There's a lot of things that you need to have, but the most important thing is never give up, because if you don't give up, you will always succeed and you will never fail, because you will just keep going.
Keep going for sure. And thank you for that advice. And can you please recommend a book or books that influence your journey?
Absolutely. And writing this book didn't come happen overnight. It came from reading many books that have influenced my journey as well in running a business. And there are a few that come to my mind. I mean, one book that comes to my mind, which was one of the most influential books I've ever read in my life, is The Power of Positive Thinking by Norman Vincent Peale. An amazing book, which I highly recommend. Another book is Profit First, and that book helped me a lot with how to manage finances and how to manage my business. That was an amazing book as well. There is another one which a lot of people already know, which is Poor Dad, Rich Dad, and that has also transformed my life in ways where you can find out and have a different perspective on how to run a successful business and how to build wealth as well.
Thank you for that recommended books, Mr. Michael. And how do you define freedom in your business? Is it about income, time, location, or creative control? And how does your model deliver it?
Well, how my sense of freedom, and anybody I believe sense of freedom, is doing what they truly desire. Everybody in this world has a calling in life, and as long as they're in line with their calling and what they truly are passionate about every day, that is true freedom. Freedom does not come from money. Freedom does not come from anything, doesn't come from time. Freedom comes from freedom is doing what you want and what you're truly called to do. That's what my sense of freedom is, and because all the money in the world or all the time in the world, both of those, that will not provide you freedom. What will truly provide you freedom is is what I mentioned. So yeah.
What does a practical step by step plan look like for someone transition safely from their 9 to 5 to a full time tutoring business?
Well, and I do mention this in my book as well. A lot of people that are looking at transitioning from a 9 to 5 to running their own business, a lot of them are, partners. So there'll be, a couple that are looking at, starting their own business. Both of them may be working full time. One of them may move to part time, or they might quit their job, and they might support each other as the business grows. And then both of them might eventually quit their 9 to 5. So that is a transition that I've seen very common in a lot of franchise partners that we bring on board. So that is like a method and a process of doing so. Some people definitely jump and make the leap of quitting their job and then going straight into running their own business. We find that those that do it, and they do it with conviction, they tend to perform very, very well as well. So it just depends on which angle you want to take. Some people just quit their job and they jump straight into it, and then others might take a little bit of a more balanced or slower approach.
Interesting approach, Mr. Michael. And before we wrap up our discussion for today, I'm inviting you to please do listen to my other podcast, people, my other podcast, because my abstract essay is already in fifth season, abstract poetry in second season, and my book 101 review in fifth season too, comedy 101 in second season, and my food 101 in fifth season as well, geography 101 in its fourth season, and my baby podcast Law 101 and Mental Health 101, Love Letters in third season, and my movie 101 review and music 101 in fourth season, and Science 101 and Sex 101 in its first season. Please listen to them wherever you listen your podcasts. So, Mr. Michael, for someone listening or watching who is stuck in their 9 to 5 but has tutoring skills, what is the one thing they can do tonight and start moving towards freedom?
Well, one thing they can do is they can find out more about Success Tutoring. If they go into Google and search up Success Tutoring franchise, they can find out more. They can also grab a copy of the book, which I've got on the screen here, and I've got a copy here right here. They can grab a copy of the book, and I've written this book on purpose to provide value and support to those that want to get out. So for those that do truly want to get out of the 9 to 5 and run a profitable tutoring business, they can read this book. There's a lot of really cool things about this book. There's also some, graphs and stories, success stories, and other things here, which I'm sure a lot of people will benefit from. Like, there's graphs and strategies as well that they can use to be successful in the space of tutoring.
Definitely, truly, truly empowering book. And if a reader could only implement one strategy from your entire book, which would have the most dramatic impact on their income and freedom?
That's a very good question, Daniel. And without giving it away, I believe for those that read the first chapter, they will immediately know one of the key items in the book, and that is mindset. And when people start reading this book and realizing what it's about, they will truly see the impact that it will have on their life. And I believe it will change many, many people's lives. Thousands and millions of people's lives will be changed because their mindset is a very big aspect to running a business. And by having a strong mindset, you can achieve anything you put your mind to.
Mr. Michael, thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world. So, can you please invite our listeners to support your books, your business, or whatever projects that you're doing right now?
Absolutely. Well, first thing they can do is they can grab a copy of the book, Millionaire Tutor. It's on Amazon. It's available all around the world. You just need to go into Google and search up Millionaire Tutor, and you'll find it on Amazon. For those that are interested in franchise opportunities, you can search up Success Tutoring Franchise. And we have a website dedicated to franchise opportunities. There's a lot of information there for those that are interested. And for those that are looking at, tutoring services for their children, you can do that as well by going onto our website, successtutoring.com.
Yes, people, let's support Mr. Michael Black because if you support him, for sure, more and more empowering books like this to come, more and more empowering business to come. So, Mr. Michael, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Daniel. Really appreciate it. Really good to have you all the way, in Vancouver, and me being in Sydney. It's amazing to talk with you from across the world, and I look forward to seeing more lives being impacted by your podcast.
Yes, indeed. Thank you also for being part on Book 101 Review and looking forward for our episode on abstract essay. Let's talk about being entrepreneur as well as being an author. So more to come, people. See you soon.